Welcome to another edition of Coaching in COVID. Joining us today is Koenig family head coach of Dartmouth men's hockey, Reid Cashman, who is technically in his first season, although it's been an interesting first year in Hanover for you, Coach Cashman. So welcome.
Yeah, thanks. Undefeated.
It's undefeated. Everything's great. We'll start with that. First-time head coach, no season, kind of players going in and out. What have been the challenges for you dealing with those issues and maybe some things that people don't see?
Yeah, the biggest challenge has been the lack of time with our guys. The relationship part of being a college coach, being a coach in general, but in particular being a college coach is something I enjoy, and we just haven't been around our players enough. I think the second challenge would be helping our players deal with the emotion of it. Our program has been around for a long time. It's not going anywhere. As a coach, I don't plan on going anywhere for a long time, but our players, you get one chance at being a senior, or just in general, it's a small window to be a college athlete. And so to lose a year, I feel for them, and they've handled it as best they can, but that's been challenging to kind of help them through a real tough time.
What have you done without that face-to-face interaction to kind of maybe maintain the relationship and the connection with not only the guys, like you said, the seniors who you won't now have an opportunity to coach, but the younger guys, to make sure that they're doing the right things so that when hockey comes back, they put themselves in that position?
Yeah, we had a really good fall where we had all 27 guys on campus, and we got to a point where we were skating and working out and kind of built the base. And then actually we've been hands off. I guess if you're in sports, if you're in hockey, you don't generally get to spend a ton of holidays with your family. And so that would be the one thing where, like, hey, we can't control where we're at. Go home and enjoy Thanksgiving, enjoy the holidays. And then we'll come back after the new year and get ready to start preparing for next fall. So we've actually been kind of hands off with them and let them kind of be a kid and, again, spend time with their family, be healthy, stay healthy. And then now we'll get going with winter term. And again, now come up with a plan now we're getting prepared for next fall.
You've always talked about the commitment the administration has made. The one thing I've noticed over the fall was, the fall sports at Dartmouth also missed out on their season, but those seniors still had the practices and whatnot that they could still be competing. Have you guys talked about what it's going to be like coming back in this second, in the winter term and maybe having the ability to skate and work with the guys and have some of those seniors back so that they don't feel like they're losing competition, but they're not losing their relationships?
Yeah, we were very clear with our seniors that this is still their senior year. This is still their team. Everything that we do, we want them to be a part of. Obviously, they can make their own choices. So we have a handful of our seniors are choosing not to come back to campus for various reasons, finish their degrees. We have a couple guys that are hopefully going to sign pro contracts here rather soon and get the degree while playing pro hockey. But I think the plan right now is to have 4 seniors back and work out and skate and train and try to enjoy their senior year as best as possible.
When you look at maybe some of the younger guys that had the option to go back and skate with their juniors teams, did you talk about what that would be like for them, or did you just kind of leave that up to them?
The one thing we talked about as a group is that we have to continue to develop this year. There was decisions made about what we can and can't do this year, and we understand those decisions, and we're going to embrace them. But come next fall, no one's going to feel bad for us, and we have to find a way to get better. Our staff has to find a way to improve and get better, and our current players have to find a way to develop. And the nice thing is that 6 of our 8 freshmen still had junior eligibility, so they could go back and they're playing hockey right now, and they're set up the best to have a good development year. It's the rest of the guys that we have to get creative with them to make sure that they're finding weight rooms and they're finding ice and they're finding a way to get better on a daily basis. So again, come next fall, we're ready to get after it pretty good.
When you announced your staff, and then I thought about you as a coach in your previous stint in college at Quinnipiac, I thought a lot about recruiting and how the 3 of you guys are known for finding young talent and developing them at the next level, between you, Stavros, and Jason Tapp. This has been a little bit interesting in your inability to maybe go out and see, possible recruits and juniors games across the country and across North America. How has the recruiting aspect changed in this period for you?
So it's all virtual, right? Like the NCAA has a dead period. I mean, I guess the nice thing would be that it's not a Dartmouth or an Ivy League. That's all 61 teams are under the same rules, where nobody's traveling to see kids in person, and nobody's having kids on campus to meet with. So we're having a lot of virtual meetings. We're having a lot of Zooms. Jason and Stavros, part of why they have been good at recruiting is evaluating, because that's a big part of it. But the second part of recruiting is having relationships with junior coaches and with advisors and prep coaches. We have to have context everywhere. For Dartmouth hockey, we want to be able to recruit across North America, and actually we're trying to explore Europe as well. And obviously you can't be all those places, especially in today's climate. So they have great relationships. We put together a really good list, and then we watch video of kids from last year. If kids are playing hockey this year, we're watching them, and then we're relying on people that we trust in the hockey world. We're excited about some of the work we've done in recruiting, and I think the fans will be excited to see some of the kids next fall.
Has this period where you haven't been able to coach kind of just continued to build your level of excitement to get there? Obviously, your first head coaching position, I knew in June when you were hired, you were, very excited to get rolling, and then you kind of have to temper that for a full year. It's going to be, you have and you're not alone, especially here at Dartmouth and across the Ivy League, but you've got a 16-month window between the day you're hired before you coach your first game. What's the everyday action or activity like for you as it builds?
It's allowed our program, again, decisions were made. So now what do we do with those decisions? And what our program's been able to do is build a foundation of how we want to recruit, of what we want our team to look like. Due to COVID, we've been forced to slow down. And so what that's allowed our staff to do is spend a lot of time together or on the phone or doing Zooms as a staff and breaking down hockey or breaking down recruits. And so we have a real clear vision, our staff does, of what we think Dartmouth hockey is going to look like, or what we anticipate Dartmouth hockey looking like. I think in a normal year, Pat, we would have gotten hired. We would have been on the road recruiting. We would have been preparing for that first game. Now you're trying to win every week while guys are on the road recruiting. Well, it would have been a bit of a whirlwind, which we would have loved. We would have embraced. This being a first-time head coach and 3 coaches coming to a college for the first time, what we've tried to take advantage of is the slowdown. So that's spend time as a staff, because that's something we can do, and let's get all on the same page. And so now our voice and our vision will be united when we get back to, normal.
Like you said, you not only got hired, then you went to the bubble, and, now you've had a little bit of a time after several years in pro hockey to kind of maybe enjoy some time with your family. You've got 2 young daughters and, a wife that has probably seen you get on a bus or a plane and head off to different parts of the country. So I'm sure that they're enjoying their time with you. Coach Reed Cashman, the Koenig family head coach of Dartmouth men's hockey, thank you for joining us in this week's edition of Coaching with COVID.
Great. Thanks, Pat.